Howdy again there, YouTube. Another bit different video, kind of having fun doing these, and I hope you're enjoying them too. So anyway, I've been out of boots for a while. I tried those kind of quarter boot, outdoorsy, Oregonian style thing, and they don't work for me. They just don't give enough ankle support and they don't have enough traction. So I tend to stick with the military boots, and after about 25 years I had to replace my first pair. And so I had managed to get these for 10 bucks at a swap meet, and they're my size and they're brand new. I couldn't believe it. But they are really hard to break in. It takes a while, you know. If you're a private, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just the standard full leather boot, and this is my preferred style. So they were 10 bucks, which I'm sure it costs the government at least, well, I guess the people buy them now, but anyway, so this is the Bates Tactical Sport 8-inch nylon blah blah blah, and they had this on clearance at Big 5 for $48, marked down from $110, and I just couldn't resist. Since I didn't have any boots, I decided that I needed many boots. And so then I also previously, right before I bought these, I picked up these Smith & Wesson Breach 2.0 boots, and so I'm kind of wanting to do a comparison between the three to find out which one I like. And I already know that I like these to a point. So it'll be interesting to see how these all compare. So these were $60 on sale. I think they were same like $109 retail, but they've been on sale for a long time, so they probably still have them at your local Big 5. I use different kinds of boots. You know, you got some for fashion. These are Docs, and I got these Getter grips that I used to really like, but the freaking sole came off. It's come delaminated. So luckily they're screwed, so hopefully a guy can I can have them resoled without too much hassle. And they're Getter grips. They're really nice. I think they're fashion boots, but I'll tell you what, they work great in the woods. They got really nice, well, half of the tread is worn off, but when they come from the factory, they're really steep treads. You're just like walking on a bed of nails. Not comfortable on the sidewalk, but great in the dirt. And these are my daughters. Here's another taller pair that I wear sometimes. So anyway, I just wanted to try to see if these compare well with your mom's boot. So what I'm going to do is kind of walk through the differences and some of the good and bad that I can just visually see on these after looking at them for a little while. So one thing I have a problem with, as you can see on these guys, is that my toes delaminate pretty fast. And so I noticed that these Bates, they don't have any kind of stitching. They're just glued. So that doesn't bode well for the future. But we'll have to see long term. These ones have some stitching right up here on the toe, which I would imagine is going to be helpful for that. Now I noticed that the stitching, these are double stitched, and they're really kind of nice, wide, deeply pressed double stitching, whereas on the Bates they're really kind of not as good. Now whether or not that's going to make a difference long term, I'm not sure. Now neither of these have speed laces, of course, because they're side zips, so they don't need them. They got the Velcro, pretty similar. They've got the scallop, the downward scallop in the back for your ankle, which the military boots don't have. So the treads, you know, military boots are pretty good at self-cleaning unless you get into really thick clay or really sticky mud. They tend to blow the dirt and mud off of them as you walk. These guys, I don't know. I'm not sure. There's some of those dots are really close together, and I would have a feeling they're going to trap dirt pretty well, and it's not going to come out of there without scraping it off. But again, we'll have to see. Then these have a really aggressive tread, and they do look like they might self-clean. I don't see any spots where dirt's going to really get trapped like permanently. Even these are kind of scalloped, so that they should clean. You know, there's ways to get the dirt out, which is nice. And pretty standard laces, and you know, these are tan, which doesn't really matter for me. Black, tan doesn't matter. I'm not trying to hide from anybody. So I'm going to throw them on and I'll give you some of my impressions about how they feel. Of course, this is just a basic impression because I mean, this one's still got the stuff in it and the tag on it, so you can see how much I've worn it. So I'll throw them on here and just kind of give you a rough idea, and I'll come back at a later date because I'm going to do a bunch of ranch work here coming up in a month or so. And so what I'll do is I'll wear, I'm going to try to break them in at home first, because that's the way you do it, my friends. If you want to break in a boot before you take it out, wear it around the house. Just put them on. When they start feeling uncomfortable, take them off. Next day, put them on, walk around, take them off. And within a week or so, you'll have them nice and broke in. Now these guys, not so much, but these ones for sure. So with that being said, I'm going to pop them on and see if there's any kind of funny, bulges or seams or anything that is going to be apparent that these aren't going to work. But I have a feeling they're probably good. These ones get really good reviews online. Bates are always good boots. I had some Bates Airlights that I really liked, but the side zip broke and I ended up just throwing them away, which is too bad because they were nice boots. But they were slick bottom. They were paratrooper boots, and they were slick bottom, and they were totally useless for anything but walking around in on the street. So with that said, I'm gonna cut and put some on. Alright, I got the Smith & Wesson ones on, and I'd say pretty high comfort level. I don't feel any seams or anything that's gonna prevent, or cause blisters right off the bat. They have pretty good stability backwards. They don't want to bend back, but they do bend forward really easy, which is good because that's the way you walk. I did notice that the zippers are really hard to close. They've got a lot of extra padding in here for the piece that covers it, and I would imagine you could probably just take that out if it became a problem. And it's folded up in there quite a bit, so that might cause problems after a few hours of walking. But that'll be revealed later on as I break them in. But yeah, they're real comfortable. I'd say probably 8 out of 10, just right out of the box. So let's try the Bates and see how well they go. Before I throw these Bates on, I just wanted to show you here. Here's this flap that kind of folds in on itself when you zip it up, which I don't know. I mean, that's going to cause that wrinkle to be in there. Whereas the Bates here, they just have a flap. Alright, we got the Bates on now, and they're pretty comfortable, I have to say. They're probably maybe a hair comfortable, maybe 8.5, 9 out of 10 right out of the box. But I can feel some pressure points, mainly right here on the ankle where it touches the zipper. Maybe that padding in that Smith & Wesson's there for a reason, because I can feel that. I can feel that individual zipper parts on my ankle bone. So, but I did tighten this boot up a lot. I left this one a little bit loose, and then I tightened this one all the way up and then zipped it up, and so it's on there pretty tight. So I could just loosen it up a little bit and it probably wouldn't be as bad. But all in all, great boots. Definitely winners. Definitely better than those Survivors or whatever the heck I had before. This is a $110 boot. I don't know that those Smith & Wessons are, but these definitely are. They feel, you can tell the quality. Zipping up the zippers real easy. Zips right up. No issues. Laces are nice and small, so they move through the eyelets real easy. Smith & Wessons have big fat laces, and they're harder to pull through. But that's minor stuff, I suppose. They're both going to be good pairs of boots for me, as well as the military boots. They'll probably last me another 25 years. These probably won't. So keep that in mind. Anyway, shoot back to the table for some conclusions, I suppose. One more thing that revealed itself while taking these off is that the side zip system on this is much better. These I had to unlace to get them unzipped. These I did not. Even that one that I had tightened all the way up. You can see it's on there pretty good, and it unzipped, zip, 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 no problem. So I just think that they're all good boots, of course. That's kind of what I've come to the conclusion of. For $60, I think this is a great buy. For $110, probably not. These for $50, whew, what a great deal. These $10, come on, you can't beat that. I could have just stuck with these and been happy, but it's nice to have different pairs, especially with the Poison Oak. If I get into Poison Oak real bad, I'll take a pair of boots off and maybe not wear them for 4 or 5 months to try to let the oil evaporate, which I guess it does, because I've had tools that were soaked in Poison Oak and went back a year later and they were perfectly fine. So, like I said, these laces are real fat, so they have a hard time traveling through these eyelets, whereas these are kind of the more military style where they're the smaller diameter, a little slicker. These have this braided, it kind of gets hung up. And like I said, this, I'm not sure, this might cause problems or it might be a benefit. I won't know until I wear them for a while. Yeah, so there it is, probably a lifetime supply of boots. Didn't have any, now I have many. I love it. Alright, well, thank you for joining me, and if you have any questions, feel free to put them down below, and thanks for watching. Howdy again there, YouTube. Another bit different video, kind of having fun doing these, and I hope you're enjoying them too. So anyway, I've been out of boots for a while. I tried those kind of quarter boot, outdoorsy, Oregonian style thing, and they don't work for me. They just don't give enough ankle support and they don't have enough traction. So I tend to stick with the military boots, and after about 25 years I had to replace my first pair. And so I had managed to get these for 10 bucks at a swap meet, and they're my size and they're brand new. I couldn't believe it. But they are really hard to break in. It takes a while, you know. If you're a private, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just the standard full leather boot, and this is my preferred style. So they were 10 bucks, which I'm sure it costs the government at least, well, I guess the people buy them now, but anyway, so this is the Bates Tactical Sport 8-inch nylon blah blah blah, and they had this on clearance at Big 5 for $48.